Hey guys, Brad Pryor here with Grit Brandon. I am here today with Miss Logan Poole. Did I say that right? Poole?
Lynch, you can say Lynch.
Lynch?
Dylan will appreciate Lynch.
Okay. Lynch, sorry. That's not what it's not what Laurel told me to say. So.
Oh. No, you're good. I know you do. You're good.
That's what's in my
good.
calendar.
No, that's good. All legal stuff, it's Poole, but
there you go.
I go by Lynch.
We'll blame it on Laurel.
Yeah, there you go. Dang it.
So what is your role with the NCHA?
So I am the NCHA communications manager. So basically that involves pretty much all of our media outlets, from photography, videography, that type of thing, any outward media communications. And then at the shows, I work closely with our show producer, Cheyenne Meagle, and help script and do show production. Problem solving.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So like if there's a commercial release to the ranch on the radio, you approve or create the content for it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then any digital and I guess printed material, all your baby?
Yeah, same. Chatter's kind of a different beast just because we kind of have an editor-in-chief within NCHA, Miss Susie Rupert. So she kind of handles Chatter, but everything like if Snapplebit needs an ad made real fast, then I'll make that ad for him and send it over.
Yeah. How long have you been with the NCHA?
3 years.
3 years. Mm-hmm. It's been a 3 long years.
Oh, stop. You've loved every second with me.
So is the organization growing?
Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, I think pretty much the whole Western industry or performance horse industry is growing with how much of a spotlight has been put on it with the new events, the media, the people that are getting involved, all of that type. So the NCHA is very healthy. Our amateur class is our biggest class. It's ever growing, rapidly growing. Purses are growing, the sales are growing. So it's been cool to see, not just within the cutting horse world, but across the whole industry.
You think with the amateur and the novice stuff growing, you think that's because the trainers are taking the time to spend with their customers to show, or just?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think you get that that next step of trainers kind of stepping up and kind of, we've seen like Holt Moore and Brielle that was with Monty Button kind of break off and do their own thing now. And so those 2-year-old trainers, those trainers that have been working for the big dogs are, stepping out of their own and broadening their horizons, building that clientele. But then also, again, with the media and the spotlight that's been put on the Western industry, I think more people are getting involved because they see how accessible it is. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have a gajillion dollars to go get involved in, get plugged in somewhere, So I think that's kind of opened people's eyes to get involved.
Right. How's your membership?
Membership's good. Membership's growing. I mean, same with the amateur class. With the amateur class growing, that class is the membership's gonna grow too, because that's our weekend level, our affiliates, all of our grassroots.
Right. So if you had to explain to somebody, but people don't know what NCHA is, the National Cutting Horse Association. Mm-hmm. If you had to give them a small spiel on how it works, because I know that's a big question people ask me, and I'm a roper. I don't know a lot about cutting, but I don't know but if you had to explain the dynamics of it, what would be the short answer for that?
My short answer is, especially whenever you're talking about like the actual aspect of the sport, the horse getting the cow separated from the herd, it's a dance. It takes 2 people, or 3 people really. There's 3 minds involved: the rider, the horse, and the cow. So think a dance, and it's a mirror. Whatever that cow does, that horse does. But it's also that instinct, training, and breeding that's in that horse for them to drop their hand and fully take over, relinquish that power to them to use that instinct to work. So to me, cutting is, I know it's about the horse, but the horse is the athlete. That training is brought there, that knowledge is put into their system, but that breeding, that instinct, that's what's there.
Yeah, and you can actually see a horse that's cowy.
Yeah,
what we would say.
Sure.
And some that are still trying to figure it out, or some that are still immature, that they're growing through their. And a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of the horses go to a 2-year-old trainer and then go to the actual trainer. So your 2-year-old trainer to me is one of the most critical parts of training, because that's your initial start.
And they have the hard task of, okay, I don't know where this horse is going to go from here. So I have to give this horse the proper tools, proper understanding, and see where they lie in that cowiness that you were talking about, and that instinct for whenever I sell this horse, okay, this is what this horse is excelling at, and this is what he would fit your program, because they don't know where it's going. So that horse has to be universally broke, universally, trained, so that whenever they get plugged into, say, Austin Shepherd or Kenny Platt or Monty, they can adjust to all of their different styles.
Yeah. So how does the scoring part of it work? The highest score, what, 230?
234, or it just depends on the system. So I think the highest score is a 80, I believe. You're going to get me talking on some stuff that I'm not in the judging department of the NCHA. But so it depends on your judging system. Like, if there's a 5-panel judge system, then yes, you get you get up to like, I think it's 240 is the highest in a 5-judge system. So yes, at Fort Worth, I think the highest that's been marked is a 234.
Who's that by?
It's been by a couple of different people. That the one I got to see was Jamie Snyder and Counting Hot Checks at the Open World Finals. What was that, 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty wicked run. It was probably one of my highlights of my career to get to film that and witness it.
Yeah. Well, y'all have 3 Triple Crown events. You want to talk about those?
Yeah. So our Triple Crown starts with the Futurity, which is November to December, and that's kind of our Super Bowl. That's the 3-year-olds. That's their first time making, the big trip to the bright lights in Fort Worth. They can't have shown anywhere else prior to this, so when they step to that herd, that's the first time they've ever been entered. So that one's kind of like our pinnacle of the sport for us. After Futurity, that's November through December. It splits both months. And then after that, we go into Super Stakes, which is in March and April. And that kind of focuses more on our stallion foal program, like horses that enter come from those studs, from those mares that are within our stallion foal program. And then the Super Stakes, which is in what we just wrapped up, was July and August. That's what they call the Derby. And that holds like our youth week and a little bit more fun events like that. So 3 events all the year round that are our Triple Crown, but then we also have like Eastern Nationals and the National Circuit Championships and stuff like that kind of fill in the gaps.
Gotcha. So you have a team that works underneath you, or just you're kind of solo?
Yeah, well, I work with a team. So I'm a member of a 4-person team. So not necessarily do I have someone underneath me, but we all 4 work as a team within the marketing department.
I got you. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Well, where are you from?
Oh, from the big old town of West Monroe, Louisiana.
That surprised me. You don't even have the accent.
I know. Well, so I've been...
Probably when you're there, you probably do.
Yeah. So I've been in Texas for about 5 years now. So everybody always tells me the accent comes through when I call my family. Because when I first moved here, I had a big accent and I sounded like a hick, honestly. And I worked in the stockyard, so it would always be like, y'all come back now, you hear? Or doing something like that just to be funny. But yeah, no, the accent's gone. So
Mom and Dad?
Mom and Dad, yep, still in Louisiana. They have the accent thick. So thick. My dad's spitting image, and so I talk a lot like him.
Your dad's got long hair?
Oh, yeah, he's got black hair.
Brother and sisters?
Yep, I have a brother and 2 sisters. My brother is Rafter P Custom Knives.
Oh.
Yeah.
I seen him at a show.
Did you really?
Yeah, he was at the BFI.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Him and his family.
Yep. That's my sister-in-law Maloney's.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Boy, he's in trouble now.
I know, right?
How do you come up with that name?
That was our family brand. Or it was Circle P was our family brand, my grandfather's, and he wanted to make it his own, so he did Rafter P. Yeah.
Good taste.
Yeah, good taste. Yeah.
Married?
Yeah, married to Dylan Lynch, a little day-working cowboy. So, honestly, my parents are like, that's what kept her in Texas. She didn't move home because she met Dylan, but kind of like Texas. Texas is the home.
Hard not to like Texas.
I agree.
He's a good guy. I met him. He's a sweet guy.
He's all right for a white guy.
Yeah. Kiddos, dogs?
No kiddos, but dogs. Sister. We can't, sister's a part of my life. She's doesn't miss a step. She's always with me. If you know me, you've probably seen my little blue dog running right beside me. So.
Cool. Well, all right. So on your
nitty gritty, let's go. Huh? I said we're getting into the nitty gritty. Let's go.
Well, talk about when you growing up. What was
Okay.
your background? Like,
Okay.
obviously you were born. Then
I was
took a
born.
breath.
Yes.
So I don't need to know all that. But
Okay,
after
okay,
you
okay.
took your first breath, tell me what minute by minute happened. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But yeah.
I give you the play-by-play. Grew up in an ag family. My dad was a team roper. My mom ran barrels. So we were pretty much hit the ground running on horses. But my brother and I kind of took a little U-turn and was like, we maybe want to try showing cows. So we showed cows for a long time. And then when junior high rodeo first became a thing, my brother was in 8th grade. So he was like, junior high rodeo, let's go. So he went the first year of junior high rodeo. Then I went up through it. High school rodeo raised us. And then on through college, college rodeoed, all of that. But I went to Louisiana Tech. I graduated with an equine animal science bachelor's. But yeah, so then just kind of skyrocketed into the workforce from there. And, I worked through college and high school as well, but my first job, I guess, was moving to Fort Worth and working for Sassy Pants in the stockyards. So, went from, I had the very unconventional path to NCHA. I had like 8 years of retail and just doing social media through retail and absolutely nothing to do with my degree. But, at the time you're in college, you don't know what you want to do. You love horses, you love all the things. So you're like, I'm just going to learn more about that and figure it out as I go. And, little did I know God was already kind of like planting that seed, because that knowledge from those 4 years have helped me in this position that I have now. So went through all of the retail, decided I wanted to be a school teacher in the mix of all of that, so kind of threw a wrench in there. And so I did that for like a year and decided that was not for me. And love all of the little Brock babies, but I just, it was time for me to move on, find something else that kind of fit my creative brain as well as my like organization, structure, that kind of a thing. So so went to work for a turquoise company, Hippie Cowgirl Couture, and that's kind of where my photography skills grew. She had weekly shoots, so every Wednesday I was practicing photography, getting more honed in on my skills, I guess you would say, and didn't even know that I was doing that, And then just so happened to go on a bachelorette trip with the girl, and she was like, hey, NCHA is hiring, I think you'd be perfect. And after about 5 rounds of interviews with Jay, because he kept saying, I like you and I want you to work here, I just don't know what that looks like yet.
Right.
So he kind of left me on a little hook for a little bit, but whenever he called and offered me the job, I couldn't say yes fast enough. So, and once saying yes to that, that's been a whirlwind within itself. You've been around, you've kind of seen my progression through NCHA. I started on the youth side, and Jay just kind of, as I grew, moved me where I needed to be. And I owe him a lot of thanks for that, because his confidence in me actually made me feel confident that I could do the job, So
I think that's part of being a leader. I feel that a lot when I don't interview a lot of people anymore unless they're upper management. But knowing there's something about this person, and you got to figure out, you don't want to let them go because you feel like you can do something with them. We just don't know. And I've hired people like, listen, I don't even have this position, but this is what I need. And can we mold you into it?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to have to be your own person.
For sure.
Because I don't have nobody you to model or follow off of. So,
no, for sure.
But I think that's a big thing, is be able to notice there's talent there and figure out how to utilize it a lot.
Well, and I think my biggest thing that I told Jay is that, like, I am amenable, I'm moldable, and I'm a problem solver. So regardless of where you put me, tell me what you need from me in that position. I just need a leg in. Just let me in.
Yeah.
I promise I will work hard. I promise that I will do the job to the best of my ability. And I think that he saw that fire in me to want to be, because I wanted out of retail. I wanted out of, not that there's anything wrong with retail or anything, it just didn't fit what I had a passion for horses and I had a passion for creating. And Jay molded both of those passions for me into the position that I have now. And because there wasn't a communications department, there wasn't, he kind of helped steerhead that and put me where I needed to be when I didn't even know I needed to be there. So, he did. He's done that for others within our company. It's not just me. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people that I've seen come through there are still there. I don't think they much knew about cutting.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think they're learning it along with everybody else that's new
Yeah.
to it. But, y'all adapted to it and figured it out.
No, for sure. And so through high school rodeo, I did cut in my junior and senior year. And one of our trainers that's actually like really involved in the association now, like on our trainers committee and some other committees and stuff like that, he was my high school trainer. So I knew enough about it at the entry level to be like, I know the sport, I know what it takes, I know the athleticism of the horse, because at the end of the day, that's what the sport's about. It's about the horse. And I think having that passion of wanting to tell those stories and wanting to give them a voice in this aspect was something that we hadn't done prior. And so I think that was where Jay was wanting to go, and so both of our minds were melding at the same time to go with that. And yeah.
Well, as you're talking, I've been thinking about, because y'all have had some innovative stuff come out, like where you've been at trade shows and you have a saddle and you have the goggles that go on, so you're actually like you're riding.
Yeah.
I think it's a Dawn, or you had different.
It's a Dawn on Allspice.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's a really good tool to get people to kind of just, because like you said, not everybody knows what cutting is. And so like especially sometimes when you see the standalone picture of the horse like crawling or doing something cool, they're kind of like, that's cool, but what is it?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like you were saying, like being able to kind of connect those dots a little bit through like how the industry is growing and telling the stories of the trainers and the riders, and how we just did the 2-year-old story the other day. Like those stories kind of show a peephole into the back end side of it.
Is there stories about are there something that you can grab a hold of on social media or a platform that you can figure out how cutting's judged and done?
Yeah, so we have 2 YouTube channels. One is NCHA Cutting and one is NCHA Films. If you go to NCHA Films, there's a whole educational bank of videos on there. There's some on our socials as well that are pinned to the top of the profiles. But yeah, there's a really good video that's called How To Cutting or whatever. It's in quotations. And it breaks it down from the 2 minutes and 30 seconds to the 5-judge system to your herd help to your turn back help, the whole night, because there are so many moving parts. Yeah. And I think that I'm going to kind of dive into a little cutting appreciation here, but I think the great thing about the sport is that everyone there is an advocate for the horse and an advocate for the sport and an advocate for that other rider that's in the pen with them. Cutting's the only sport that you have to completely relinquish control over to that horse once you walk into that pit or walk out of that herd. You only pick it up to sort one out. So you're relying on those 4 guys, not only your horse and in the training that you put into that horse, but to also for those 4 guys to set you up a good run, but then also ride out of that pen and go right back in there and help them, Yeah. So they continuously try to level up one another. And I appreciate that because I feel like that only makes our sport better.
Yeah. And when a lot of people, that are not from our World Western industry, and they look outside in, looking from the outside in, they're like, that's so cruel to watch them push a cow around or what have you. But if you look at the stock that's there, from the horses to the cattle, they're all they all eat well. They're better taken care of than us.
Yes.
They really are. I mean, and I think that's something that we miss a little bit of elaborating on when we're on these open platforms like this, that these horses are well taken care of.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they're like spa treatments.
Truly.
I mean, yeah. They're athletes, like you talked about.
Well, and just like an athlete, you have to be in control of their mindset as well. So I need that horse to be happy, not aggravated, not worn out, not, mad at me or whatever, mad at a sore spot, So those lopers also play such an important role because they're the ones who are truly keeping the horse happy in a cool, calm, collected mindset so they can go out there and show to the best of their ability. Because like you said, the horse, it's about the horse. So we want that horse to go out there and love its job. We want him or she to go out there and lay down good runs because that's what their instinct has told them to do, how God created them, So that's why I constantly say that cutting is so much about the horse because they're the athlete, They're the one doing the work.
Yeah. And the type of move they have to perform and do.
Yeah, and think.
Low to
They
the
have
ground
to
and
think
think,
on
yeah.
their own. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because when they drop that rein, it's pretty much all you got, a little bit of feet. You don't have any leg pressure.
Yeah.
So it's all on the horse pretty much.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's a cool event, and I feel like it's one of those events that, like, when you go and see it at a high level, it's hard to go watch it on a lower level because you're like, wow, these horses are electric, you know. But it's still cool to see that those stones are being laid, you know, that, like, that amateur is gonna come up, that non-pro is gonna come up, you know, like, and you're only as good as who you compete against. And like I was saying, like, they literally go back in and help the next person beat them, you know? So it's a cool event. The camaraderie, the family aspect, all of that, it's very well, it's a lifestyle, you know? All of this is.
100%.
Cutting's the original cowboy sport, as we like to say, because it came from the ranches. I mean, Buster Welch was like, I bet my horse could cut better than yours. And then in 1946, cutting was born, or NCHA was born, you know? So it's cool. It's cool to see it go back and even into, like, some of my husband ranch rodeos and whatnot. And so going to those ranch rodeos and seeing the bloodlines that are coming through those horses, the training and how they're picking up on watching some cutting videos and whatnot, so that they can apply that to their ranch horse teams and stuff like that. So I think it's cool how, like, it's a drop in the bucket and the ripples, you know, the ripple effect is cool to watch.
And you've been a part of this, I'm sure, but like I went up to South Dakota where cows with some cowboys and learned a lot about how they do stuff. It's not much different than us, but you know, there is that horse when you're sorting the mama cows away from the babies. That's the cutting horse.
That is the cutting horse.
And that's if that baby breaks out, that means there's 4 or 5 cowboys going out there to rope it, get it back in there.
Exactly.
So that it's a lot of pressure on that horse to be able to be in its spot as it needs to naturally. So I think that's pretty cool seeing that in the work and feel part of it too.
Well, and even, like, going back to its origins, like, there wasn't pins and, like, you know how they have portable pins now that they can take out and set up? They didn't have that back in the day. Like, when you gathered a herd up, my guys were standing there holding the herd, and then I'm going to be there sorting one out and letting them brand it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So those horses, I'm sure back in the day, were way more even maybe in tune than what we have now, because we do have aids and stuff now. But like you said, it's cool to see because they do. They know the pressure's on. They know they have to be there. And when you see the good horses, they have the want. You know, they have that, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's cool seeing too some of the historic ranches. You know, the 4-6s, Bond Ranch. There's just a lot of cool genetics being pushed
Truly.
through there that they're actually out there on the ranch working with the genetics, not just showing them.
No, so like we were talking about that horse counting hot checks, he marked a 234 at Futurity, or at the Open World Finals, showed all year, won the Open World Championship, and then that next day, whenever they brought him back to the ranch, he hasn't been in a pen since. He hasn't worked a cow since, unless Jamie has him out there day working. So,
really?
Yeah. Like, it's just incredible what these horses can do, the mindsets that they have, and, like, you know, you talk, like, I don't want to, you hear horses blowing up and stuff like that. You know, it can still happen. It can still be a part of it. But the mindset of a cutter has to be so strong, you know what I mean? So that when they get done with their limited aged event career, they still have a life left ahead of them. Like, the mare I rope on's an ex-cutter, and she has the most cool, calm, collected mind, like, because they have to think, you know? Those cutters think. They don't just react. So,
if I'm walking around one of your Triple Crown events and I hear, "Hey, I'm going to be at the flag pen," what does that mean? They playing soccer over there? Or?
Yes, I would love for you to go over there and go play soccer with them. No, so the flag pen, it's a training aid. It's set up on 2 panels, and it's just a flag that kind of moves up and down a fence. I know nobody can see my hand, but left to right, right to left, however you want to say it. And it just kind of is an added tool to get those horses to, before they walk into the herd or whatever, just think stop. Because that's what cutting is, stop and control. So if you can stop your cow, you can control your cow. And so whenever they use that flag, that's what they're working on, is getting that rate, getting that stop, and getting that control, so that when they're put into that real life scenario with a live cow, they already have that mindset going in.
Yeah. Well, growing up around the cutting horse industry, one thing I've noticed, because there's a lot of new people coming to the industry, and they're inquisitive and they want to learn, and we welcome them in. But I think something that would be cool.
Okay. Hit me.
Tell Jay. Tell
Okay.
Jay this is Brad Pryor's idea. If you did have a QR code or something near the flag pin, because people are watching, bystanders
Okay.
that might be there at a gun show, but they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
Or there might
figure
be
it out.
like if they're going in there just to watch, non-pro or something, run like a QR code, they can just
Scan.
pull up a video.
Yeah. What are they doing?
But I don't think they know where to go find it
Yeah. No.
when they're
I
at
like
when
that.
they're at the event. But help educate them.
No, for sure. That is a good idea. Look at you, marketing. Brad Pryor.
There you go, Jay.
There
Your
you
discount.
go. Mic drop.
So I always ask my group, why do you work for Rafter P? What makes Rafter P so great?
I feel like I've
What-
sat here and
NCHA.
just said a whole love letter to NCHA. I feel like
I know, but I'm gonna let you drain it out, and then we're gonna go back to the swamp.
Okay, well, okay. Like I said before, I feel like this job, and which even the people within this job. So for me, when I first started, like I said, it was like the perfect meld of like creative and structure, creative and horses, like getting to tell the stories of people that have become like family to me and people that I consider close friends that, I didn't think that job was possible. I didn't think that was out there. So I have a love and a gratitude for NCHA because it opened up this small town girl's dreams. I didn't know that this was an avenue I could even go. Cutting Horse World was not a blip on my radar in Little West Monroe, Louisiana. I didn't know lopers were a thing. I didn't know this industry was as big as it was. You know, so NCHA opened my eyes to a whole nother world of the Western industry that I didn't even know was there. Like I've said a million times in this thing now, but so I guess that's why I work for them in the sense that like the people that are in it are good. They love their horses. The horses that are in it are good. The stories that you get to tell from, we've just done some storytelling on Monty and just the struggles that he went to get to where he is now, like, for me, that's why I love it. It's because I get to tell the stories that they work their butts off. Those horses do, those trainers do, those lopers do. So for me, I just feel like it's what I'm supposed to, like, I don't know, it's something that I can give back to them for all of their hard work and for all of their love of the sport and the horse. Yeah. So, I don't know, it's much bigger than just, I love what I do, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's bigger because I feel like I'm making an impact. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. I thought you would have talked about how much more the Triple Crown pays than the racehorse industry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I told you that, and then I didn't even say that.
There you go.
But yeah, so Cutting is, like one of the richest equine events to date. Our Triple Crown pays out double what the racehorse Triple Crown pays out. So at Futurity, we're paying out nearly $6 million. That's unheard of in this industry. Unheard of. So it's also cool to see that part of it growing because I don't know how many people know this, but our purses are directly related to the Western bloodstock sales. So when those sales do well, our purses go up.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Jeremy, I don't know all of the logistics of it, and I don't want to I don't want to say something wrong, but Jeremy does I don't know if it's like he recoups all of his costs and everything like that, and then he gives us a percentage. I don't know how all that works or whatever, but when we hold sales at every one of our shows, whether it be online or in person, and the total amount that they sold from that sale directly is related to NCHA and our purses. So put your horse in a Western bloodstock sale.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. What about the youth program?
Youth program is growing. You're involved with our youth program, Miss Rihanna. She has she's done leaps and bounds for the youth. I feel like first, her and Andy Adams getting into the high school rodeo association, more involved with that. For 2 years, the past 2 years, she's put on a cutting clinic there, and the first year it filled up in 10 minutes. And then the second year we opened it up for, I think she had 20 the first year, and she opened it up to 20 in the morning and 20 in the evening, and did 2 clinics this past year. And it was full, and, you know, I can't remember how long it was, but it was quick. So it's cool to see, but like, some of those girls were riding their barrel horse and was trying to get, because of the foundation of a cutter too, to get that better knowledge, and how just your horsemanship. And so that's been really cool to watch. And the Pryor Junior Elite team accepting cutters for the first time, I know Rihanna was instrumental in that. So it's been really cool to watch the youth grow. Really cool. And this last show we just had, I mean, there was 180 youth, I believe, that competed. So
really,
yeah,
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
I remember when y'all started rebuilding the program. Mm-hmm. You know, the first year, you know, it's always the first year of a rebuild, but you know, the second year was just total night and day different.
Yeah,
and a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
And I think it's cool how y'all do the. How you give out the Kids Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know, I attended that to give out their hardship award, and didn't realize what it was all about. But y'all have like life size photo or posters of the kids, to make it look. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty legit.
Well, summer show, the youth kind of run differently than NCHA. So their point year is different than NCHA's point year. So their World Finals ends at the summer show. So that's why we do that. That's their end of the year hubbub, or their end of the year party, I should say. But the cutouts that you see, those are all of the 15 youth world finalists, or junior youth, and the 15 senior youth world finalists. So they each get a cutout like that, a poster to take home. It's really cool. We try to make it as much about them as possible and what they've done throughout the year, because it's no small feat to go to 100 some odd shows, and make your way up to that top 15. So
and I've seen a lot of them grow up a lot lately. And it's crazy watching them from being a little bit punks. You had to kick out of your booth or taking all your matches and trying to catch stuff on fire.
Listen, our youth kids are just angels.
Yeah. About 3 of them.
Cool. It is cool to see, though, because like we just talked about Tristan Crow earlier. I mean, he's showing in the amateur and he's still in the junior youth, So it's just cool to see that the impact that the youth puts on their life. Colt Moore, for one, he came up through our youth, and then he worked for Don. Now he's out on his own. Yeah, okay. That's him.
I knew he was with the Don and he went on his own, but I didn't know he started out in the youth program.
Him and Jency both. So we have a lot of people like Casey Green. He's been involved since he was in diapers, So it's cool to see how the ones that get in young and it sticks with them, and either they come back after college or they stay hung through it,
Yeah. So, and one thing I saw, Run for the Million, like Austin Shepard showing, and then his son, I can't remember his son's name. Cade, yeah. Oh, I can't forget that. Yeah, but that's so cool watching the dynamics. I remember when Cade was in high school. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's grown up so much.
And that's third generation, because Austin's dad showed too. So,
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's very unique. And the most humble, nicest people you'll ever meet.
Oh, my goodness. You don't get more down home and just so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. But I like watching that generation. They're both competing in the Run for the Million. I thought that was cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Well, listen, Carter Platt he's going to be one.
Oh, I know. I can already see that.
Money. So it's cool to see. And even Spud with Sam, their kids, it's cool to see. I know. Anyway, I've said that a million times.
It is. I mean, you've seen these kids be babies, and they're actually riding horses, and they're pretty dang good.
And they're dang good, like 5 and 6, and they're showing cutters too, So it's just it's crazy. They're doing a lot better than I would do.
For sure. So y'all give out a lot of scholarships?
Scholarships, yes. I think if I don't want to Julia, if she watches this and I get this number wrong, she's going to be upset with me. I want to say it's $140,000 handed out at World Finals, so Super Stakes, that 1 week.
Wow.
1 week, 140 grand is gave out.
To seniors? Or is it
Yeah, anybody. Yeah. So our junior scholarship, every person that makes it to the finals gets a scholarship, whether that's a $50 scholarship or a $10,000 scholarship. That differs, but every kid that makes the finals is going to get a scholarship, some sort of money.
That's cool. Well,
That's just in the arena. Sorry. We also have the out of the arena scholarships and stuff like that with speech, essays, art, photography, all of that kind of stuff. So it doesn't just have to be in the show pen. They can also win some scholarships through contests as well.
Right. Well, the three things I like about the NCHA is number one, it stays true to our heritage of how everything in the cowboy world really works. And number two, to support the youth. And then the big thing for me is I'm big military. I have military cutting.
Yeah.
And not this year, but the last year, I got to go out and hang out with them to do the long distance shooting. Them not ever riding a cutting horse to me never shooting that far, it kind of puts in perspective of what they're dealing with on that horse versus what you're dealing with a rifle.
No, for sure. And those guys, too, since Jay kind of swapped it from just because we used to partner with a group called Brave Hearts, and it was just all military veterans. So I think it's been in the last 3 years, Jay switched it to just focusing on like special forces. And so a lot of those guys have so much training, have so much knowledge, have so much like badassness, I guess. I don't know another word.
You know when you're in a room with them. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So when we made the switch and we kind of shortened the days as to like they get 2 training. It's not like a 3-day clinic like they used to. It's just you get a couple hours here and a couple hours there, and that's all they get before they go into the arena. And those guys they catch it up. They pick it up like that, and they go out there, and some of them look like seasoned showmen. You can tell the others that are holding on and whatnot, but still, it's not like they get loads and loads of practice. They're truly just stepping on, swinging a leg over, and they're here for it. Some of them may not even work a live cow before they go compete. So
that's crazy.
It's a cool event.
Because when you watch cutting, it looks. To people that are good at it, it looks really simple. Yeah, but it's not. It's not. Like literally holding on to a car, flipping out of control with no steering wheel.
Yeah,
I mean, you're there to take the ride.
And they can turn on a dime. That's the part of it people don't realize. Those horses, when they get a fast cow and they're going corner to corner, those stops are not just a do-do-do-do. They're going over there and planting, and you have to be able to sit and ride that too. So, it's not just. As much as I say it is the horse and everything else, you have to still ride that horse as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, how would you describe the celebrity cutting during the futurity?
So celebrity cutting.
Outside of y'all, kind of, right?
Yeah. So last year was the first year that we took it in house and produced it. Okay. So kind of new for us as well. We're not going to have it with this futurity this year. It'll be attached to Super Stakes next year.
That's right. Okay.
It's pretty much Taylor Sheridan and his wife. They kind of, Nicole and Kit Moncrief, they kind of spearhead that and kind of help us get the talent for it. But the idea behind it is to raise money for charity. So we partnered with UT Southwestern last year. They were developing a new cancer wing within their Fort Worth facility. So all the ticket sales, all of that type of stuff, all of the money goes to UT Southwestern for that benefit. So it's a really cool event because it's something to hype about. It's not, I don't want to say we take it too seriously. A show, there's very much so, check marks that have to be, I's that have to be dotted, T's that have to be crossed, With this type of event, it gets to be a little bit more fun. It gets to be a little bit more interactive. And so for us, we enjoyed getting to host that last year.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. That's cool. If you had to...
Gosh, okay.
If you had to talk to an 18-year-old right now, or talk to yourself at 18, what advice would you give yourself or that 18-year-old? Be
content. Be content in where you are in life, and don't try to hurry up the next step. Because, like I said, I had a very unconventional path to the job that I have now. But, God has ordained every step you take. And he knew that every single one of those jobs that I had was building me for this job. It was giving me the tools that I needed in unconventional ways, but it gave me the tools that I needed to be good at this job and to love it, So be content in where you are and just know that don't be scared to say yes. Grass isn't always greener, but if it's fitting where you're wanting to go and you have a plan of where your life is, seeing it, even if you don't. If you're not happy, choose happy.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, happy goes a long way. Happiness.
Yes.
A lot of people, and I agree with that. And I think I'm guilty of that at a young age, is rushing success.
Yes.
Success is not born overnight. Success happens within the gratitude of and your grace.
Yeah.
And
that's
I
really
think
well said.
And I think that's a big mistake and I see it when people come to work for us, they want to be the boss day one. Mm-hmm. And they have no idea that all the people that's in front of them or higher up have went through all the levels, predominantly that workforce. Yeah. And it's like, you can't go in there thinking you're going to be the boss because you want to make the amount of money of this. Take the amount of money out of perspective. Be happy, be with a good company or program. Yeah. And I think that goes a long ways.
Well, and like you said, too, it's like a good company, a good program. Like, it's not just you, you have a team, I'm assuming, at your fingertips. So use your resources that you have. Don't get stuck, basically, kind of how you were saying. Don't get stuck with what you can and can't do. If you need help, ask for help. Right. That's okay, Yeah.
And that's one thing I've had to learn, even as an adult, is when you have a sure step on something, take that step and go to the next one. Mm-hmm. Delegate, let people. I've gotten real good at delegating, by the way. Laurel's got like
Laurel?
9 million. Laurel.
Laurel.
If y'all need sponsorship time, it's laurel.com. Bomb.com. I don't even know where I was going with that, but anyways.
Sorry. Sidetracked you hard. Delegating.
Delegate. Yeah, Laurel got many titles behind her marketing degree.
Yeah.
So, over marketing, but she's my assistant. She's a booking agent, traveling, but she don't.
Problem solver. She's a problem solver.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring me solutions, not problems. I always tell people. But all right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Okay. But I want you to tell me.
Oh no.
One word only.
Have you met me? I don't know what one words are.
Trust me, I know.
Okay. Hit me.
Oh, by the way, before I ask you this. What happened the first time we met?
Why are you going to bring up old wounds? Why are you going to pick scab?
I'm going to pick, because I got salt throwing it.
I can't be talking about that.
You're making it sound very bad.
It's not very bad. He called me a sore name.
Right. Yeah. It was a good introduction, though.
It was a good introduction. I never forgot you.
We'll leave the name out of there, but...
I never forgot you after that.
And it was strictly an accident. It was not planned.
It
just fell off my... Yeah.
Anyway. It's fine. I'm fine.
So
I forgave you. We're friends. It's cool.
That's on your end. So if you had to define with one word your grit, one word, what would it be? Don't feel bad. It stumps everybody.
Okay. Do I have like a second to sit and think about
But if you'd watch more of these podcasts,
I actually did. I didn't. So that's the fault. My fault is that I didn't watch the end.
Yeah.
I did watch a lot of different people you talked to, though. I would say resilient.
The new one.
Yeah. I feel like I've been knocked down a bunch in my life. I feel like I've worked for some really hard people, not meaning that in a bad way or anything. I just feel like I've had a lot of tough bosses that have, a diamond's formed under pressure. So, I think that through life, through work, through the horse industry, all of it, it's pick yourself back up, girl. Mm-hmm. There's another one around the corner. Yeah.
We're going to sit there and cry for you.
Yeah.
Well, Logan, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, it wasn't as awful as I thought it was going to be.
I don't know. That's your opinion. But if people want to know more about the NCHA, how do they find you?
Okay. We have all the platforms. So we have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, send a smoke flare up. We'll probably see it. If you want to know more about our events coming up or anything like that, you can look at nchacutting.com. That has a plethora of information as to what's coming up, how you can get involved. And if there's anyone that wants to get involved in the sport and doesn't necessarily have a horse or don't know what that next step is, on our website we have the trainer directory, and all of those guys on there are more than happy to take the time to talk with you, figure out how you can get involved if you want to be involved and what that looks like. So
yeah, awesome. Well, good deal. What's tickets for Futurity are coming up?
yeah, Futurity tickets will be released at the beginning of October, so be on the lookout for that. Members get a 24-hour pre-sale, so if you're not already an NCHA member and you want to snag those 3-day passes, sign up to be a member. But yeah, other than that, that's all we've got going.
Cool. Well, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, that wraps up another episode of Grit Branded. Thank you for joining.